Welcome back to the Poison Touch Advice Hour, the podcast where Miss Poopy and her friends give you all the best and worst advice to deal with all of life's predicaments. It's August, y'all, and this year has felt like it has gone by so fucking fast, but I am proud and happy to introduce to you all Issa Diamond, my co-host for this month. Issa, how the hell are you?
Hi, I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm good. So the girls don't know this about you yet because you haven't done your introduction, but Issa is a social media extraordinaire, a stunning drag queen, a Chicago native or no?
No, I'm from California actually.
Work. So we're both transplants. How long have you been in
Mm.
Chicago?
Since like 2018,
Okay,
few
so you're a
years.
couple years older, more than me. I came here in
Yeah.
2020.
I know everything's been downhill since.
Truly, and yet, Chicago is one of my favorite cities now. So I'm very
I
excited to
love
hear
it
it.
so much. I started drag in Vegas and I grew up running around the streets of LA. Lived in Seattle for a bit, and there's nothing like Chicago.
It's just one of those cities, and anyone who hasn't been to Chicago and is like afraid of the cold, or you want to visit but you're like, it's too cold and it's nasty, come when it's not super cold, learn to love it, and then you'll want to move here and you'll deal with the cold. You'll figure it out.
Or get some of the Uniqlo thermal underwear thingies and some Doc Martens, and you're literally so fine. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, my docs keep me through the entire winter.
Right.
um and those Uniqlo thermals are really good.
They're amazing.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Uniqlo, but
I want to
Uniqlo,
be.
if you're listening, we're available.
Okay.
Issa, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
I am Issa Diamond. I am part of the House of Diamonds here in Chicago. It's like one of the biggest drag houses here, full of Latin and trans non-binary artists in the house. All of them are POC and trans under the trans umbrella somehow. It's a great little. I describe houses like a gang, bitch. We're in a gay gang. It's fierce, and I
Very
love it
that.
so much. I've been doing drag since 2016. I'm from California, a really small conservative town. My representative is Kevin McCarthy. Like, it's conservative Buta where I am from. So
For
I
the
grew
for
up
the girls that
always.
didn't know California could get like that.
It's the only Republican part. It's like crazy. But I moved here in pursuit of drag, and I've just been chilling, kikiing. I'm really into politics, and yeah, that's me. I'm chilling. I hate guys right now.
You know what? Nothing wrong with that. Men are
No,
consistently trash, and I say that as a man.
that's the only consistent thing about them is they will consistently let you fucking down.
They will consistently have the audacity. It's the
Right.
one thing every man got is the audacity.
But yeah, and I'm happy to be here.
All right. Like I said, let's do a little wellness check. I don't usually do them, but I think it's
Yeah, because
something I
I
want to
started our Zoom
add
call like, you're depressive.
a little bit. I wouldn't even say like necessarily depressing so much as just feeling like very, I guess, lost might be a little bit of a better word for it.
Tell me why.
Which, as somebody with an advice stream, everyone wants me to have all the answers when that is not the reality, because
You're
as
like,
I
no, bitch, I started this to get some for me.
you're right, like this is my form of therapy. Like this is the Virgo version of therapy, is me trying to tell people things that I know.
Right.
That being said, like I usually say at every episode, we're not therapists, we are not licensed professionals, we are entertainers. All advice that we
Mhm.
give is for entertainment purposes, so we'll do our best. But yeah, today I'm feeling a little lost. It might just because I had like a really busy weekend and I'm just like trying to get over it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I've been like, sometimes I feel like a need to push myself to go out or to be social and to like be in the club scene a bit more, like as a bartender and as someone who knows a lot of nightlife people, and like I feel like I got to keep up with that.
It's so tricky because you work in it. And I, as a drag queen, get that because it's like, bitch, I'm not going out unless I'm paid to.
Yeah, I think you get it more so than anyone right now, is because like it's very that, and I
If
I
I am
like
not out, I am home, bitch. I am home. I'm in the gym. I'm calling my family. I am not in the clubs. Because you know who goes to the clubs? The same people all the time.
yeah. And
So
it's like
it
a
gets,
double-edged sword though, because like a lot of my friends are out all the time, and a lot of the nightclub people that I know are out, and I feel like I just haven't been there even to like support, and like I want to go to shows and I want to support my friends and stuff, but I just haven't been feeling it in me.
Then don't go.
I know
You
I'm
literally
definitely
don't
in
have to.
I'm in one of my seasons, you know, like there are
Yeah.
times when I really want to go out and I want to be out like every day and I want to party and stuff like that, and I'm definitely just in like the opposite part of
Yeah.
that.
I will say, in that breath of you having phases where you do want to go out when you want to. Because
Yeah.
whenever you, and don't judge yourself for the times that you don't want to go out. Because though I say this with my friends who I'm like, if you're mad, be mad, bitch. The same way I want you to be extremely happy when you're happy and to feel that to its fullest extent. When you want to seclude. And don't judge it, because that'll allow you to not feel bad and to enjoy your time away and to recharge. And then that way when you're ready to go out, it'll make it that much more fun.
Yeah. And I
Allow
say all
yourself to leave.
this, I say this precluding the fact that market days is this weekend, and like that sheer fact alone might
Hold
make
up,
me go
pause.
out. Yes.
Hey Google, what does preclude mean?
Preclude is used as a verb to mean prevent from happening,
Got
make
it.
impossible, as in the secret nature of his work precluded official recognition.
See,
Thank
Do
you.
you want to
so
hear a few synonyms for preclude?
No, you're good.
she said we got a thesaurus. Oh,
A
I just
thesaurus.
that was bad. Not a thesaurus.
But continue.
Um, girl, I don't even remember what I was gonna say. So I say all this with the fact that like market days is this weekend, and just that like that swirl of energy coming to the city will probably lead me to be like, oh, I actually do want to go out. But it's
Yeah.
like for like up until that happens, like I am feeling, I don't know, just very low energy, very like I consider myself an ambivert, and it's definitely the introvert
Oh.
leading up to this
Right.
weekend.
Right. I've taken a note from the lesies and I go on walks sometimes. The lesbians love
Yeah.
to go on a walk, bitch. They love a walk.
I'm a
So
bike ride girl.
there you go. I'll go for a bike ride to get my like social stimulation, and then just be home and chill. I've stopped judging my need to stay home, because bitch, if I need to stay home, I need to stay home. Also, if I'm out, I will leave when I want to. I am so notorious for Irish goodbying. So if I'm out on like some manic high shit, like oh bitch, I'm gonna go out like, and then I'm out, and then my battery's gone, I'll leave.
I pulled one of these a week ago. Actually, I went to Queen.
First
Um,
mistake. No, I'm just kidding.
I went to Queen. I usually have a really good time at Queen. Like I just kind of stay with the people that I'm with. I just dance. I feel the music. You know, I try to keep it very chill. I try to not you know, do all the shenanigans that come with Queen. However, I think where I went wrong was I took this edible thinking it would like get me in that dancing mood because I didn't want to drink.
Weed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the edible thinking it was gonna hit me like a you know, Dancetron moment,
Right, like it's Molly or something.
which sometimes it does because I have these little like I ran out. I don't have them anymore. I have to go pick up more, but I have these like little 2.5 milligram edibles, and
Oh,
they really just like color my day a little bit. They make me feel so pretty. They make me like want to dance and like
I
skip
love
around and
that.
stuff like that. So like if I had taken one of those, I would have had a very different night. But the way that the edible took me, I took a 5 milligram one. I got it from my coworker, so I don't even know what kind of, you know,
Right,
whatever it
it could have been
was.
a downer.
Yes, and that's how it hit. Like I
Yeah.
was there. I got so anxious. I felt like everyone was staring at me, which is just not the
Mm.
reality because everyone is so fucked up at Queen that nobody is staring at you.
That's never the reality that anyone's looking at you. I tell that to my friends who are scared to
Literally.
go to the gym. I'm like, I promise you, no one gives a fuck about you.
Yeah. But the edible was telling me that. So like I looked at David. I said, "Girl, I got to go home."
Yeah, and
I
you
held up the
left.
lipstick. I said, "I'm going home."
You whited out the lipstick and said, "I'm going
Yep.
home."
I'm going home.
And did you
And
leave?
I did leave. I left. But I was so
Period.
nervous on my walk home cuz I live like very close to it. So I walked home and I was passing by the cemetery and I heard this like ungodly scream, which
Oh
it
no, bitch! What?
in reality was probably a tire screech.
Right.
But like to me, which I thought there were witches in the graveyard that were gonna like, you know, they
Yeah,
were
you're having a bad high walking by a graveyard and you hear a fucking scream, bitch. I would have killed myself.
I took the long way home. I immediately turned around. It like took another 10, 15 minutes from what is normally like a 7 minute walk. Um
Oh, that was
Yeah.
not a good trip, girl. What?
It was not a good high. So yeah, it wasn't a full Irish goodbye, but I definitely said bye to David and like nobody else. I was like, I'm leaving, I'm going
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you went home because that's not fun to be out and have that feeling.
Oh my god, no! Especially at Queen, I was like, "There's too many people. They're all staring at me. Nobody's
Yeah,
staring at me." But I was
girl.
just, ugh.
And
And
it's fucking hot. I
I
can't
was
with
like
Queen.
enjoying the music before it hit too. So like, I could have gone sober and just have danced to the music like that,
Right, and just chilled.
which maybe I should have done. But alas,
But
that's
alas.
my wellness check-in. How are you doing, Issa?
I'm doing good. I just finished one of the longest work weeks I've had in so fucking long. Because I've set up my work week. I've taken inspiration from like Norway, New Zealand, and like more progressive countries where I've budgeted all my bills, seen what I need to pay, and cut my hours and cut some things that I pay for, so that I cannot work 5 days. I do not endorse a 5 day work week. I think that's psychotic and so fucking barbaric.
Same.
So I do a 3 to 4 day work week.
Work. I'm a
Um,
4-day work week girl.
I love it because the first day off you can recover, the next one you can do your errands, and then the third one is for you.
Yes.
Period. So I just finished one of the longest work weeks I've had in so fucking long because some shit at work happened. And I am just ready to seclude and just rest my body and just relax and chill. Um, Enough guys have given me the ick where I am no longer dating or seeking anything from anyone.
Taking a break. Taking a
Um,
break.
oh yeah, bitch. And so yeah, I'm just chilling.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I think more people need to get on the 3 to 4 work week.
Yes, absolutely, bitch. What?
Because this is another part of like, I guess I was feeling a little lost thinking, I sometimes think to myself, how long am I going to continue bartending? Is this something I see myself doing long term? It's such
Yeah.
like, it is a toll on your body. And
Yeah, I'm a server, so I feel
yeah,
you.
but it does afford me the ability and the free time to do things like this and to
Yeah.
like have a lot of time to edit and then things like I'm holding a D&D one shot, by the way, for those of you listening to the Twitch stream right now. If you're listening to the podcast version, it will have already happened. You can catch it on YouTube. I'm doing a D&D one shot. It is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon themed this week. It'll be very fun.
Oh.
It's going to be a cute little adventure, and Clefable is here to grant everybody's wishes with the help of Dashi. It's going to be very fun.
Work.
So yeah, but I'm like, I have the free time afforded because of my job as a bartender. But sometimes I'm like, is this something I want to do full time, or should I start looking at like corporate jobs again? Because I worked at a news company for a while before I
Oh.
moved here. So
What were you doing there?
I was a producer making YouTube content and Instagram content and things like that. So
Work, bitch. That's sickening. Why did you quit that?
the pandemic hit and I was stuck in my apartment in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have it in me.
Are you from New York?
I'm from Jersey originally, but I was living in Brooklyn at the
Oh.
time when the pandemic hit, and like the slog of trying to come up with content while being stuck in your house and like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Because the thing that fed me the most in that job, I've told this story on the podcast, I believe, but the thing that fed me the most as working at the news company was talking to people and doing my own interviews and like really, pounding pussy to pavement, going to get the story. Like that was my favorite thing.
Investigative journalism.
Yeah.
Please.
So when the pandemic hit and I like couldn't do any of that aside from like finding people and zooming them, along with the fact that like in New York everyone was just stuck in their house, it was like a pain to even go get groceries. It was just a lot. So I had to quit, and then I moved out here because I just needed change.
Yeah, that's real as fuck. I mean, I always a quote that's been getting me to work outside of like the hours I'm clocked in recently has been, don't be afraid to put in work after work, to towards your dreams, I guess. And so that has been kind of fueling me to do some of the projects that I want to do and I'm more passionate about outside of my regular job. So I will pass that along to you and be like,
Thank
don't be
you.
afraid to put in work after work.
And this is my work after work, is stuff like
Period.
this. But eventually, if I ever decide to stop bartending, I would probably go back to news stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
All right, shall we? Enough about us. Shall we get into these questions and help out some people?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Hey.
I've noticed, okay, so I've been watching your podcast for a while. Not a lot of people give toxic advice. They
You
really
know,
give their best attempt at helping people. And I'm like, bitch, I want to see y'all suffer for the plot.
and that's why we're here. This is why we're here. Sometimes we're here to give bad advice. It's called
Yeah,
the
bitch.
best and worst advice.
Oh, it's a,
I would
yeah.
always recommend people take the best advice, but I'm not afraid. Let's give some bad advice today.
I love giving messy advice. I am a bipolar Pisces with all my houses in fire signs. So I love being messy and seeing shit go down. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Perfect. And I think what struck me of being like, oh, I need Issa on the podcast was I saw that video you posted. You're like on your bed, kicking your feet in the air.
Yes, I'm literally
that
like, "La,
one.
la, la, la," where it said toxic things I do on purpose.
Yes, which
I had a list.
would you mind, before we actually get into these questions, would you mind sharing one or two of those things and then
Yeah,
encouraging people again, of course, to go to your Instagram and actually view the video?
So I have a list of things that I like to talk about in case I ever am in a situation where I don't know what to talk about. It's just random thoughts that I have, like whatever, whatever, whatever. So I have this list of things that I just used to do on purpose. So I used to get people's name wrong on purpose at jobs to establish this barrier between us. Like, we are not friends. So say your name was Jake. I'd be like, hey, Mark, so today we're going to be doing this, that, and the third. And then, because Mark's getting too comfortable, Jake's getting too comfortable, bitch. You need to back up, Mark. And I'd be like, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Or forgetting, I haven't visited this list in a while. Oh, I used to do this all the time where I used to forget things that say I'm talking to you and I'm like, was it you that I told this thing and that thing? And then I would say something that would probably like make you upset or jealous. And then you're like, no, that wasn't me.
Must have
Especially
been
to
your
romantic
other boyfriend.
Yes, especially to romantic partners because they say that. And I love engaging with that response by being like, yeah, I must have.
See, and this is why, like, as a principal, I have never said that phrase, must have been your other boyfriend. Because
bitch, you play around, you're gonna find out.
Exactly. I've always been like, no, it wasn't me. It must have been one of your other friends. It must have been someone else, but it was not me. I'm never gonna accuse it of being your other boyfriend though, because that just leads to messiness.
I used to text every guy I was talking to at the moment when I was going to someone's house to seem like I'm getting blown up. I'd be like, hey, 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 so that their all responses are hey, 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 and it makes it look like they're texting me. And I'm like, oh my God, like they'll be like, who was that? I was like, no one, like, don't worry about it.
Are you someone who cares whether or not people put their phone up or down at a table?
No, I really don't. And I kind of hate people that make you feel bad for it.
Right? Okay, see.
I'm like, bitch, shut up.
Yeah. Because sometimes I just be put it down. I don't like, it doesn't occur to me as a thought, but to some people it is like that big of a thing. And so like I'll usually just throw my phone down or I'll put it in my pocket, especially if I'm like out to dinner or whatever. But
I saw a screenshot from TikTok today on Twitter that said, it was this girl that said, when I'm out with my friends and we're both on our phones, sometimes I like to put my phone down and make it seem like he's my boyfriend who's ignoring me. And I'm like, that's very me coded. I love that.
Is that going to make it into the second episode? Wait.
It's going to put in the next list. It's going to have
one.
that part.
Yeah.
I like, so this mirror right here, I like turning it towards my bed when I'm getting fucked because it's kind of hot watching. So when I have a guy over who like I'm seeing consistently, right?
I don't even have to move.
You get it. I'll turn it towards my bed, and that person knows. So they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh," and then I'll go flip it back to its original, and I'm like, "Nothing."
Real quick, I want to read this comment real quick that we got. It says, "This is making my day so much better. Thank you, Jake and Issa." No problem, Polly. I'm glad you're enjoying.
But yeah, so I'm the girl to give you toxic advice.
So yeah, if you haven't already, go to Issa's Instagram at Issa the Queen. You can see it right below on the screen. If you're watching the video version, go find that video. It is so wild. It's great.
I love it so much.
But we're gonna start with our first question. It is a story time actually. It is from Jack Frost, and they write, so the summer after I graduated high school, I was single and ready to mingle. This guy I'd gone to school with since middle school hit me up and wanted to do dinner and a movie. He'd never come out, but I had always felt like he was a little fruity, so I assumed this was him asking me out on a date and said yes. I wasn't about to make the first move since I wasn't sure if he was gay, but I made it pretty obvious that I wanted him to. For example, taking up the whole armrest at the theater, flirty looks, and comments. and yet not once did he make a move on me. That's where another guy comes in. We'll call him Kevin. Kevin worked at the theater we went to, and we had been chatting for a few weeks at this point. The guy I was on a date with had taken me to IHOP or something, and from what I could tell, had no romantic interest in me. So I texted Kevin and asked him to pick me up. I ditched the guy I went out with to go back to Kevin's place, who I had only met in person that day, and made out for a while. And I'd do it again. Don't ask me on a date if you're not gonna try at least to hold my hand.
Period. I love them.
See, in this instance, we don't even necessarily need to give them the toxic advice.
What advice do they need? There wasn't a question.
It's a story time. The story times are like the story time. Here's how it works. The story times, we reflect on them for the person.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so first of all, the guy who asked you out to dinner in a movie, he probably, what time? I want to know what time he asked you at. I want to know what time and where the moon was in the planets. But I don't think you should feel bad. If anything, fuck yeah, Kevin, for coming through. Kevin is showing that they're consistent, they have a job, and that they're gonna make out with you and give you the affection that you deserve. I don't go after straight guys. I hate pursuing DL or straight guys because I think it's weird to pursue somebody who doesn't like claim the lifestyle that you live. Yeah. Because a lot of those DL guys, it's a lot of internalized self-hate and homophobia that they will have with them that they need to deal with, and is not fun to fucking be around. I swear to God.
It's not. It's like, it is such a pain to try and hide yourself around somebody. Like,
what?
For the same reason, also do not go after DL men.
No, bitch, like, you guys are fucking lame. Come the fuck out. It's 2023. Nobody gives a fuck about what you put. I saw a video of a guy putting his dick in pasta fleshlights, girl. You think anyone's gonna give a fuck that you put your dick in me? No, bitch, you're fucking crazy. Also, I hope you did not pay for that ticket, and he better have paid for the ticket, period.
He better have. And you know, the thing is like, I feel like, wait, not Kevin. The other guy was probably like waiting. So it was going to be a movie. It was going to be dinner or whatever. And then it was going to be, oh, do you want to go home and smoke? And that's when he would have had, that is when he would have had the courage to finally start something.
I remember in the high school, I'm from an area that's really gangster, norteño, sureño, down, bitch. And these guys would wait till they're drunk. And I remember telling one in specific that we were like kind of like at a party after everyone left, we're chilling, kicking. And he started like drinking because I was like flirting with him. And then I told him, I was like, yeah, go ahead and drink so you can blame the alcohol when you put your dick in me.
Ow.
And he just like laughed. But now, like, that's cute when you're in high school and there's no other gay person in town. Girl, fuck this guy. He's crazy. Yeah. And that's, I think, why they went to like the movie with him, because they said I graduated high school with them and middle school, like all these like nostalgic times. Like, no, bitch, we're moving on.
Yeah, like it's cute for a moment, but you know, when it's over, it's over. And I'm glad that Jack Frost decided to be like, actually, you know what, this like isn't worth my time. Yeah, I could just go with this guy who works at the theater, right?
He'll get me free all the time.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, people leave dates for a lot of reasons, and some of them are good, and some of them are bad.
Have you ever left a date?
Have I ever left a date? Honestly, I don't date that much, so no, I've never left a date. I've left hookups before for sure.
What? Tell me about it.
None of them are like that interesting. There was definitely this one guy where like he pulled up to pick me up in his car, and it was like a completely different person, and I just didn't even get it. But that like at that point, you
said, "Oh no, someone else is picking me up."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, wrong Uber, sorry." Like,
right. I left a date because this guy, I was telling him about like my history, about how like, because at the time I moved here, my mom had just passed away. And so I was kind of telling him about that a little bit. And then we were eating, and then I asked him, do you want a napkin? Because he's fucking making a mess. And he's like, no, my parents actually raised me right. Like, I know how to eat. And I was just like,
as he's making a mess?
As he's making a mess. And I was like, they clearly fucking didn't, you pig. And I got up and grabbed a napkin and like threw it at him. And then one time he brought up,
wait, what were y'all eating? It was in the same.
We were at Portillo's.
Okay.
But we were on the same date, and he was talking about like, yeah, so things become like serious. Like, I would love to meet like your mom and like your dad, and I was just like, you know, I just told you my mom died. Like, why? Yeah,
so he just wasn't even listening.
And then I was like, you know what? I gotta go. You're really not fun to be around. And I told him that, and I left.
Work. You know, when I first moved here, I thought Portillo's was Portillo's.
Because you're a paisa, bitch.
I was like, oh. And then I was like, wait. They serve hot
Technically, you're right.
dogs, right?
Portillos. It's the two L's that makes it Y in Spanish. Like, girl, fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
And then I was like, oh, they just sell like chicken sandwiches and hot dogs. And then I was like,
But
okay,
good for Jack
Portillo's.
Frost, bitch. Good for Jack Frost for leaving that fucking
Yeah.
date.
Good for Jack Frost. Send
My
more toxic
turn.
stories. We love them. All right, Issa. Next one.
So this is from The Goonies, which I don't really know what gooning means. Is it that face?
Oh, okay. We'll have a whole okay. Once you read the question, we'll get into the definition for
I
gooning.
almost refuse to look it up because, anyways. So the Goonies says, I can't jerk off anymore ever since I started playing Pokemon Sleep because I'm scared of the recordings at night and I don't want to turn it off because I think it's a cool feature. To which I asked you, what is Pokemon Sleep?
Okay, so we're gonna do two things first. I'll talk about what gooning is, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about Pokemon Sleep.
Okay, period.
So, gooning is a phenomenon which apparently the girl said I had the definition wrong at first, and then I learned what it was. However,
Oh.
I think it means something different to both straight people and
The
gay
girls
people.
being booty origami. Right.
T, very that. Mario was like, here's what gooning is.
Right.
So I thought it. So let me collect myself. Here's what I initially thought it was. I thought it was like this porn addiction phenomenon where people have like multiple screens and like
Oh.
and porn is in like 8 windows on all of the screens. It's like a dark room and they just sit there and they jerk off for hours.
I hate
That actually refers to a goon cave. So that is a goon cave. That's more of a straight thing. So like when straight guys are in their goon cave and they goon, it's less so referring to like that face and more so referring to like the porn addiction of it all and just jerking
Woof.
off for hours.
But gooning is a face.
Yeah, so when
Okay.
when the way queer people talk about it, gooning is like that face, and it is about being like so horny as you're jerking off, or that you like lose your like will and you just go cross-eyed and your tongue lolls out of your mouth and you
I
just
hate
like
guys.
you just give it up to the feeling, you know.
Oh, I hate F slurs. I hate them. I hate them with all my heart.
It's very much like I'm just a hole, sir. I'm just a little faggot, sir. It's very that.
Woof. Woof.
It is very that. So that is like that version of gooning. But initially, I just thought it was the goon cave stuff, which kind of scared me a little bit when I had heard that.
That's psychotic, and you guys need help. But the Goonies has no correlation to this text. And then Pokemon Sleep is
Pokemon Sleep is a new app. We're not sponsored, but if the Pokemon company does want to reach out to me, hopefully not for a cease and desist, then please sponsor me. Pokemon Sleep is a sleep aid app where you take care of a Snorlax every week. And so every night when you go to sleep, you feed the Snorlax 3 times a day like a Tamagotchi.
okay.
And you collect berries, and every night when you go to sleep, it tracks your sleep by putting like your phone on your bedside table or on your bed or whatever. So it tracks your sleep. It gives you like a score. So if you get like a good 7.5, 8 hours, you get like 100. And then based on that, Pokemon will come and visit you as you sleep, and you can catch them in the morning when you wake up.
Oh, so it's supposed to like promote and encourage and incentivize you getting a good night's sleep,
Yes.
so that you can get these better Pokemon.
Yes, the
Which
same
sounds
way.
good in practice.
Yeah, like the
In
same
theory,
way
I
that
mean.
there are like apps where people like every time you drink water, like water's a plant or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
one of those little like self-help, gamifying, self-care type things, which people have all sorts of feelings on whether those are actually good or not. Like Pokemon
I was gonna
Sleep.
say, I can't believe people need an app and an incentive to do the bare minimum as a human being. That's kind of crazy to me. But no,
Yeah.
work, go off them.
And I
I'm
say
glad
this
they're getting
as
it.
somebody who like since using Pokemon Sleep, no, partly
You use it?
I do use it. I love it. It's great.
Oh,
It's
Okay,
great.
tell me
I
more.
I caught a Krogunk, I caught a Slowpoke, and I was like, I caught my favorites. Now I'm just kind of like casually playing it.
yeah.
But I think part of it is ever since John moved in, my sleep schedule has gotten better. Because before he lived here, I would be up until like 5 in the morning most nights.
I'm that girl too.
Now it's like it's only like 2, 3 in the morning, so it's definitely like a little better.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like Pokemon Sleep does give me a little incentive to like get to bed on time.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
it's
think if you need that to kind of help you get on track towards doing that, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
But this person said they can't jerk off anymore since they started
Okay.
it.
Here's the thing. We're gonna get into the question, but before we do that, I did want to like gamifying your own self care can be a good thing or a bad thing. Like as long as it gets to a point, you know what I mean? Because I think I could see how it could definitely reach an extreme for some people, where like it then becomes like a detriment.
Yeah.
So if you are playing Pokemon Sleep or you're doing any of those like water apps or anything like that, just make sure you're doing it in moderation to the point where you are, doing better, building better habits for yourself, but not to the point where it
Yeah,
becomes a
very
detriment.
that. Not where you're relying on it to get sleep.
Yes. Now, onto this confession. I can't jerk off anymore since I started playing Pokemon Sleep. Girl, just jerk off before you hit the sleep button.
Like, why are you waking up at 3 a.m. and like fucking rubbing your little dick? Like, what are you doing? Like,
The thing is
also,
like they
your
might.
phone is always your phone is always listening.
It's always the same. Like,
And I'm the type of like psycho where like if a relative passes away, I'm like they're always watching me. They're gonna watch me jerk off. Like ew ew ew. But I think
don't you know you gotta look in the empty corner of the room when you jerk off and be like, yeah, I know you looking.
right. Put on a show, baby. If Pokemon Sleep is listening to you jerk off, put on a fucking show, bitch.
Let them fucking listen. You better. I want to hear vocal shit. It better come up on that microphone too. All right.
Yup. And you better shoot on the motherfucking wall, bitch. What?
Yeah. Let Pokemon Sleep capture that. Catch that.
Right. But yeah, I don't know.
It is deeply unserious. This confession I thought was so fucking funny.
It's psychotic for sure, and I'm learning a lot. I feel like this sentence and this like little screenshot category on this Google Doc is perfectly encapsulating of what your podcast is.
Yeah, none of these words are in the Bible.
If you took this and sent it to a colloquial like colonial woman, she would have a heart attack.
Hell, the people working at the Pokemon company listening to our sleep recordings are gonna have a heart attack when they hear it.
Work.
You know those memes where it's like people are afraid to moan in their girl's ear. I be in my Pokemon Sleep app like.
Are there guys that are afraid of moaning their girl's ear?
I think so. I believe so. It's a whole genre of memes, so it has to be a thing.
Kill yourself.
You better be on those Pokemon Sleep recordings like Akira, leave me alone. Right. Like I want to hear all that.
Ew, wow, I hate it.
All that, just full on screens. I want to hear like JoJo Bizarre Adventure, like oh no, like
okay.
We need the noises, okay? The comments say straight men are terrified of enjoying themselves, and that
right, like you guys are fucking psychotic.
That is true. Straight men are afraid to enjoy themselves. Well, Goonies, don't be afraid to goon while Pokemon sleeping.
Also, your phone's always listening to you.
Yeah, so
like, what's the difference? Your data's always being collected. It knows what kind of porn you like. Fuck it. You're in a surveillance state. Who cares?
The next time you goon and you get like an Instagram ad the next day for lube or for hymns or something like that, just know that they're always listening.
Who cares? Get over it.
Yep. All right. Next one. This one is from Tough Decisions. It's a general advice question. They write, without giving too much away, I'm faced with an opportunity to do something very shady in regards to a group that I'm involved in. Or I can take the moral high road. How do you weigh the two options when deciding whether or not being shady and toxic is a better option? This question was like, basically, this was like curated and crafted with you in mind. So I'm gonna let you run.
When they go low, we go to hell. Be lower than them. Fuck the moral high road. That shit don't have any Starbucks or any McDonald's on that road. I promise you, going the more shady and toxic route is gonna be so much more fun. And I'm in a sort of hedonistic era where like I'm gonna do things where I'm gonna do it for my enjoyment and my pleasure because I think it's fun and funny. Fuck your feelings unless it kills you or literally keeps you from like I'm morally I will never keep somebody from working or like ruin their job. So unless it keeps people from dying or like making their money and it seems fun, like fucking do it. You seem like a chaotic like energy, tough decisions, and I think you should follow your instincts and be really toxic and really shady because it's really fun.
And I hate to make the comparison of the angel and the devil on your shoulder, but let's do what is not an angel and devil. They're just two devils, right? But one is just like the lesser devil. I'm here to let
Yeah.
you know I agree. However, I do think it's worth spending some time weighing the pros and cons and weighing how much drama you will be making by taking the shadier route.
Also,
And
if you take the shady route, you better do that with your fucking chest.
with your
Don't do it.
chest, you gotta
Don't
be
do it and then
10
be
toes down.
apologetic. Yup.
Exactly. That's basically is what I'm gonna say. Weigh out how much drama you're going to make by choosing this, and then decide based on that whether or not it's worth doing. Because if you're like weighing it in your head, and you're like, it would do this, and this, and that's actually a lot of drama, and I actually don't like. I would rather just do it and run away. No, at that point, just take the moral high road, and then when shit hits the fan, inevitably, you're there to say, "Well, I told you so."
Right. If it's gonna hit the fan, it's gonna hit the fan. Whether or not you, have a hand in it. Like I have a quote that I've been living by right now, where like people's downfall is not preying on people's downfall is not enough. I need to partake in it. And if you cannot be a bad bitch and partake in that shit with your motherfucking chest, then don't do it. Don't be a pussy ass bitch and black out and be like, oh, I'm sorry, like I shouldn't have said that thing to that person. Like, no, bitch, be like, yeah, I said it because you said it and you need to say it with your chest too.
Work. And if you don't want to be like directly involved, but you want to influence events, just know that that could blow up in your face. And if you do it, you need to be very strategic about the ways in which you decide to tell certain people certain things. Keep track. You hear that? That's the sound
Sorry.
of wine being poured. No, no, no.
Okay.
That's wine being poured. This is what you should do.
Stop
Pour,
long.
pour your wine.
And watch it explode.
Yes, but yeah, end of the day, definitely you have to weigh your options very carefully. In my advice, weigh your options, or if you're in it to win it, take a toxic route. However,
love
I
being
think
toxic.
I think sometimes taking the moral high ground, like I don't know, sometimes there is a certain satisfaction to it. It may not be as fun, but being there when shit hits the fan, and you just got to be like, well, you see.
Being above it can be fun. And that's why I say when they go low, you go to hell. If this has nothing to do with you, probably stay out of it. If this has nothing to do with you, stay out of
Yeah,
it.
I
If you're
wish I
a
had a little more information. It's just that a group that I'm involved in. I wish we
yeah,
had
they
gotten like
stay
a little
without giving too
more.
much away, bitch. We're doing a podcast. Give everything
Girl,
away. You're
give it
fucking whack.
away. This is a reminder. All of the submissions are 100% anonymous. So, like, if there is a chance to give stuff away, like, this is the time to give it away.
Use pseudonyms. Like what?
Yeah, like Jack Frost did. We had
Exactly.
Kevin. Like use pseudonyms. Give us information because the more information that we have, the better advice we can give. Because
Right.
we could be saying to take the toxic route, and bitch, they're talking about like premeditated murder. Like, and in that
Right.
case, we do not advocate for that.
And that's why I said, as long as you're not taking anyone's job and as long as you're not harming anybody.
Yeah. So like I wish we had a little more context for it, but that's pretty much all I have to say.
Period. Well, I have the next little bracket here, this paragraph. This is from somebody called Polyrized, and this is hi, I've been having a big problem recently with comparing myself to others I see on IG, and it's made me pretty depressed. I always see people with friends partying, clubbing, drinking, etc., and it makes me feel lame and like a loser because I don't enjoy those things. I don't have many friends and I have different interests. I don't love the skin I'm in. I can't look in the mirror at myself, and I always feel like I'm on the verge of tears. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Additionally, I don't have any self confidence. I can never muster up the courage to take photos of myself or even put myself out there on the apps. Whenever I go on Instagram, people are just so attractive, and here I am looking like trash, and it's really discouraging and puts me down a lot. Whenever I try to talk to people or react to something, people leave me on scene, and it just makes me feel like I'm not good enough, which makes me feel worse. Honestly, anything to help would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. So
First of all, I need some props for reading that really well.
you're very good reading. And the listeners let me know every month whether or not the co-host was a good reader or not.
Really?
So they do the DMs on the podcast account where it's like, this co-host read that really well, and when it's
You know
not,
what I
it's
want to
like,
do
it's
for one of my
sometimes the
Instagrams?
hooked on phonics is a hooked on phonics thing. What are you doing for the
Girl.
Instagrams?
I want to do a thing where people come over and read their draft tweets. Like things they tweeted, they wrote, but didn't have the balls to fucking tweet out.
Oh, we could do that right now. Let's read one each.
Bitch,
Let's
okay,
read
let's do one and then
each
we'll get into
right
Polyrized.
now, and then we'll get into Polly's advice, because reading Polly's questions, it did break my heart a little bit, because like
I know when I read it, I like preparing for this, I was like, like that
it
sucks. Like
hurts.
I've definitely been there.
just like hearing that negative self-talk and like the way that they talk about themselves. But anyway, really quick, draft tweets. I'm gonna read a couple. So this first one says, "How do you serve cunt in?" And then I feel like this one translates more if you were to read it as a tweet. It says, "How do you serve cunt in?" And then it's got a dash, and then it's asterisk gunshot asterisk. Because
How do you what?
how do you serve cunt in blank? Because you remember that was like a Twitter trend.
Yeah.
How do you serve cunt in blah 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 whatever. And I was so tired of it that I was about to tweet, "How do you serve cunt in gunshot?" Enough. That's the tweet. The second one I have,
Damn,
it's a picture of Storm from the X-Men comic Life Death. And Storm, it reads, "Are you okay?" And she says, "Alive, hurt, but whole." And then the caption to that tweet just says, "After bottoming."
Bitch, what? Are
My
you a
drafts
top? Are you a
kind of
top?
less.
Your verse, right?
Yes.
I have one that says, "How are you still allowed? How are you still allowed around arcades?"
Ooh.
Our girl kept calling my phone looking for someone, and when I hung up and after she kept calling me back, I answered the fourth time and said, "I don't know who the fuck you think you are, bitch, but don't you ever call me this early and blow up my shit." And she didn't call back.
What time was it?
This was, it doesn't say the time.
Oh, okay. But it was early.
It was early for me. I don't care if it was 12. That's early for me.
Okay, I have one here that says
Mine says a Dior hijab, fucking work.
this one says, "No, because the only thing to be mad about is you taking up all the oxygen with that long ass neck." Sad face. I can't even see what this is in response to. Oh my
Similarly,
god.
sick of y'all being ugly. LOL. Bitch, what?
Oh my god. This one, I think I meant to write seated for Black Panther because I was about to watch the movie. It says seared for Black Panther.
Come on, being seared in a George
seared.
Foreman. My class is discussing how Harvey Weinstein is racist because he didn't prey on black women. Question. I hate it here.
Oh. This one says DJ name, Jack Off All Trade. Girl.
Bitch, what?
Girl. What was I on?
You're a psycho.
Jack Off All Trade. No, when you see me DJing.
That's a good one. Jack of all trades.
Yeah, Jack
Oh
of
my
all trades,
God.
but it's just Jack Off All Trade.
I love that. That's
When you
great,
see me start
actually.
DJing, and that's my DJ name.
But back to Polyrized.
Okay. Yeah.
Comparison is the destroyer of joy.
Yes.
And I want to say that to her again, or whoever they are, whatever their pronouns are. Comparison is the destroyer of joy. Kind of like, if you read this back to yourself, you always see your friends partying, clubbing, drinking, but it makes you feel lame because you don't like those things.
And this
I
goes
don't
kind
like
of back.
getting-
This is kind of what we talked up top. It kind of goes
What?
hand in hand with that, about how I was feeling a little lost about.
Yeah. I don't
it's
like getting
kinda
punched
similar.
in the head. You think because I see my friends getting punched in the head that I'm going to be fucking missing out because I want to be punched? No, bitch, I don't like that. So why would you feel bad for something you don't even enjoy? You must be under 25 because I promise you, the older you get, the more you will realize that life is too short to be spending it doing something that I don't enjoy.
Yeah, like
And
I wouldn't be at the clubs just because your friends are at the clubs. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it, and that just means you have to find an outlet for you to like be with your people. That
Right.
doesn't necessarily involve drinking, and that can be tough, especially with younger folk. Because
Yeah.
I feel like, so many people are focused on clubbing and being out all the time and stuff like that. But if that's not for you, don't force yourself to do it.
No, bitch, we are both in our houses right now. And we are getting like this social fix that we like may need without having to go in person and go out into the world. I am an introvert masquerading as an extrovert. Like, you cannot be introverted in this, But personally, every year for my birthday, I my biggest gift that I tell anyone, if you ever want to get me anything, this is the biggest thing you can get me, is leave me alone for my birthday. Let me just be by myself and do nothing. If anything, partake in making sure I don't have to do anything on my birthday.
Yeah.
Because I like doing nothing. I like not being around people. I like not socializing. Like I like having my alone time. I like enjoying myself as a person. I like myself and I like being alone with myself.
Yeah. Bring me like an iced coffee, a donut, a little snack. Like give me a hug and be like, enjoy your day, girl.
Yeah,
Bye.
Uber eats me something, bitch. What?
Yeah, you know?
What do you have to say to people that don't love the skin that they're in?
So
Especially because it comes rooted from comparing yourself to people on social media.
this is something we've tackled numerous times on this
Yeah,
podcast. We
I've seen
tackle
it a
this
couple
quite
times.
often.
Yeah.
And it's it's one of those things that we tackle so often because it is ever present. Like even people that are super self-confident, like I consider myself generally a very confident person, but of course there are times when, I find myself comparing myself to other people and having that be at a detriment to myself. Not loving the skin that you're in. That is something like remedying that, like even no matter what we tell you, it's going to take time. And my favorite thing that I have said 800 fucking thousand times on this podcast is like finding one thing about yourself every day to compliment yourself on and using that as a very small way to kind of build that self-love. You know what I mean? Because the second you start comparing yourself on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or anything like that, you always have to remind yourself that people are showing the best of themselves.
The best of themselves.
Yeah. And even when they're not showing quote unquote the best of themselves, like if someone's crying on camera, just laugh a little bit because they had to set up their camera. They had to stop
Right.
crying, set up the camera, make sure the angle was there, and then go back to crying. So even that isn't real. Things that you're seeing on social media aren't all real. So it's like if you remind yourself of that, it becomes much easier not to compare yourself.
Yeah, I also have these tattoos on my chest that say fake and real, and one of them's backwards. Because in high school, I had this problem where I was constantly comparing myself to people. I was constantly dysphoric in my gender and everything. And so I got these so that when I look in the mirror, I can remind myself that what I'm looking at is temporary and it's not real. And that, everything's kind of a facade and smoke and mirrors and whatever, whatever. Having little things to remind yourself that this is all just a front is helpful. And like you said, finding one thing about yourself. I remember when Bob the Drag Queen said this on Drag Race season 8, it changed like everything for me, where he was like, even if you like that one tooth on you,
See, this is
you
where it
like
comes
that
from.
tooth.
It comes from that. Like after hearing that, I was like, that is like I'm taking that to my grave.
Because it's not that you're obsessed with this tooth, it is creating a new like neurological way of thinking and of talking to yourself and of this dialogue. It's creating that, which is like the road to that is not from A to Z. It's made up of B and C and D and E. And those little in between letters are the present moment. So I feel like you should always try to be present with yourself and to just be more like gentle to yourself. Like
Yeah.
in my youth have attempted suicide, and like I had gone through it. I've been bipolar, I've been depressed and anxious on medication, whatever. And no one is gonna be able to look out for you and love you and talk to you and take care of you the way that you will do to yourself. My dad told me when I was young that when you die, there's only room for you in your casket. So you better make sure that that person, which is you, that's in there with you, is somebody that you enjoy.
Mhm.
You need to learn to love and to talk to yourself nicely, because
Self-talk is everything. It is.
it's everything.
It might not seem like a lot. Like you might just be like, oh, but I'm just being self-deprecating or things like that. But no, like self-talk really has an effect on the way that you see yourself, and even so much as like learning to change those things, like just about how you talk about yourself and how you see yourself, how you talk
It
about yourself to other
also,
people. It really just changes your own perception of yourself.
you teach people how to treat you. So when you talk shit about yourself and make fun of yourself and say you ain't shit and this and that, it allows other people to do that to you.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if I let anybody else talk to me the way that I've talked to me.
Yeah.
So, bitch, change that shit. Change
It's
that shit. Even if it's
so
fake.
so easy to be your biggest critic, but you really
Yeah.
just have to. Even when like shit is putting you down, you got to put yourself up always.
Right. And also, all these people you're looking at on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, They are all probably depressed. They are all probably anxious. They do coke. They do ketamine. They're getting fisted. Like, bitch, these bitches ain't fucking shit. They don't have debt. Their rent isn't paid. They haven't taken out their trash. They have a shit stain in their fucking toilet. Their shit stinks. Like, girl, these are human beings. Like, girl, don't be caught up in the smoke and mirrors. Those people ain't shit. And be nice to you because you only got you.
Yes. And if you're into fisting, then
Hit me up.
Stand in that. Yeah, hit Issa up. Let's see what else I got in here. The part about mustering up the courage to take photos of yourself. How would you break through that? Because for me, I like I get in moments where I'm like, I'm gonna take a bunch of photos of myself, and then for like a month I won't want to take any photos of myself. I'm like, don't perceive me. But like I will have just times where I'm like, take photos, blah 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 blah, and that'll be the photo I post in like 2 months. You know what I mean? So
I try to take note of what it is in that moment that is making me feel confident and cute enough to take pictures. So it's usually 90% of the time a haircut.
A haircut will do a damn thing.
Bitch, there is nothing more powerful than a gay 24 to 48 hours after a haircut.
Yeah.
And if that makes you confident, bitch, last summer I went once a week. Because I want to always feel cute. I want to always feel cute. If it's, you know, going to the gym and seeing the progress, then go to the gym more often. If it's getting a haircut, go get that. If it's having clear skin, then focus on a skincare routine.
Get your eyebrows done. Do something that makes you feel cute.
Dress in a nice outfit. During the pandemic, the amount of times my ex would always be like, why are you getting dressed up? You know you're not going anywhere. And I was like, because I want to. Because it makes me feel cute.
Yeah.
So when you're on those highs of wanting to take some pictures of yourself, looking in the mirror, being like, okay, like I look kind of cute today, whatever, then remember what it is in that moment so that in the moments where you're low, you can call back on that and be like, oh, well, I should probably try to do that more often.
Yeah. All right, this comment real quick says, unironically, I got self-confidence from fingering myself in the mirror. I'm so serious. That's an option. Finger yourself in the mirror, sister. Stick that dildo on your mirror and look back at it.
Yeah, I didn't have any confidence for the longest fucking time. I swear to God. But it wasn't until I started changing dialogue with myself. Also, just accepting that, like, I look like this. Decolonize your mind and decolonize the beauty standards that you have set that were forced upon you throughout the time that you've been on this earth and that you've been raised. Because I promise you, a lot of the insecurities you have come from racist like backgrounds.
Yeah. White supremacy will find a way to weasel its way into everything. And that includes self-confidence, the way we talk about ourselves, the way we see ourselves. So that is good advice. Like learning to just be like, yeah, this is how I look how I look, and how I look is great.
I'm like, I'm Mexican. What do Mexicans look like? Oh, cool. I look like the rest of them. Cool.
Also, realizing that like you don't have to be at 100. Self-confidence isn't always about being at 100.
No.
Self-confidence, it fluctuates. You could be at 100 some days. If you're at 100 one day a year, that's you know, that is what
every
it is.
day I aim for 50.
50, like we don't aim for 100. We aim to feel just, you know, a little bit of ourselves. Feel a little good. So the next time you give me an update, I expect to hear a little more positive self-talk. I want to hear, even if you're still going through it, let's at the very least in your update, if you're still going through it and you're like, thank you so much for the advice, but I still am feeling bad for blank, blank, and blank. I at least want to hear better self-talk from you. Let's start with that. So next month when you write in, because I expect an update, sister.
Also, there's always fixes to things. If it's because you're insecure about your acne, bitch, go to the dermatologist. If you're insecure about your body, bitch, eat better and go to the gym. If you're insecure about the way you're dressed, bitch, look up Pinterest boards and try to find some way to style. There's literally bitches on TikTok that will, if you pay them, will curate a box of clothes that they thrifted based upon a Pinterest board you sent them and send you these clothes.
Oh,
like,
that's kind of cute.
Do the work, bitch. Do the fucking work. I hooked up with a guy recently who was so cute, whatever. But I stayed the night, woke up with him in the morning. He took like an hour and a half to get ready. Not a drag queen. Not a drag queen. And I was just like, oh, this is why he spends so much time. But anyways, yeah.
something that was a big self-confidence booster for me recently was like getting my fit together for the Renaissance fair that I went to
Okay.
for my anniversary. Just like
Mhm.
getting all of those things together and like styling the outfit and like putting on the hat a certain way and just like looking at how I looked in like that corset and my the jerkin as it's called.
Okay.
Like putting together that outfit and just like finding an excuse to dress up and just like pretend to be a character and have a really good time. Like
Because you're proud of it.
that was such like a just like a small like I didn't even realize it was a self-confidence boost until I was at the Renaissance fair with my boyfriend and we like were just having such a good time. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I feel so good about myself.
I love that.
So if
Dress
you
up, bitch.
dress up, like get it, put together a little costume or something, you know. Maybe if you don't like partying, have like a little something at your house. Have like a game night.
Also, find things that work for your specific bodily situation. If you are, you, not everyone's a 6'2" white male. I'm a 5'8" Mexican. Bitch, I'm not gonna try to like replicate those things because that literally just does not work for me. When I'm doing my makeup, something that doesn't work for, that works for me may not work on other girls and vice versa. Literally just focus on you, take your measurements, see what kind of body type you have, and go off that. Don't be trying to like compare yourself. Like I said, comparison is a killer of joy. Also go to a tailor. It's cheap.
Yeah, tailors are not as expensive as you think.
No, they're cheap,
Something
$10
like tailoring a pair of pants or like a shirt that you like
to fit you.
it can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something I need to. I have a couple pants that I have been wanting to like turn to shorts, so I just want to like cut them myself and then take them to a tailor and just get those
Thank you
fixed
for
up.
that reminder. I need to do that too.
See, it's summertime. You gotta like take last year's pants and turn them into shorts, and then you make
Period.
room for this year's pants when the winter comes back.
It's summer.
Let's see how are we doing on time. We are about an hour in. I might cut maybe like one question at the end.
I know I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I love it. I love it. Let's move on to the
You
second
can't
one.
cut my other one, mine, the next one.
Oh no, that is staying in. I think
Okay, period.
I might cut the last one that the one that I have to read.
Okay, period. Your turn.
Because I do want to make sure that we have time for the second segment. Okay, this next one is from I got scared. It's a story time. I got scared, and they write, okay, I'm not sure if this is worth sharing, but I was on Grindr the other day and saw this very, very, very hot man. Early 30s, beautiful chiseled abs, nice pits, important. Just looking at his pics made me want to get on my knees and look at him with pleading eyes and open my mouth gratefully while he spits down my throat. And anyway, you get the point. He was hot. We tapped each other. I asked, hey, how's it going? And the convo starts getting pretty tame. We quickly get into exchanging pics, and he's in and the into lists. His list was not what I expected. He said, what are you highlighting?
Oh, I'm reading with you.
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Sorry.
I didn't know you can see me doing that.
I can see it. All right, my bad. Okay. I'm going to cut that out. His list was not what I expected and had some stuff I wasn't sure what he meant. Among the vanilla stuff, things like getting oral, breeding, facials, his list included giving verbal, physical, and psychological abuse. Now,
Is he my dad?
I wasn't sure exactly what he meant, so I started asking, can I ask for what you mean by psychological abuse? He said, degrading you, stalking, but only if we click. I like the fear.
Oh?
Yep. I was trying to be polite. I immediately knew we weren't a match, but figured, hey, if he's down to not stalk me, maybe we can just fuck once and never acknowledge each other again. So I said, wow, that sounds intense. He goes, yeah, it's intense. It's only if we click. So I inquired
Right.
about other kinds of abuse he wanted to do. I asked how serious he was with the physical abuse. I was thinking it'd be stuff like a slap in the face while I'm getting throat fucked, maybe choked out while I'm getting fucked, but it was more than that. He said, I want to punch you in the stomach to leave you winded. Again, tried to stay polite. I just said, oh, okay, I see. He then asked, are we a match? And I told him, no, I'm not really looking for something that extreme or intense. He sent me a bunch of sad faces. I hit him up because I wanted him to spit on me, maybe, and maybe pee on me while telling me I'm a dirty whore. I was not expecting it to have to be the main character of the Goblin Cave. Anyway, I don't need advice or anything. I blocked the profile and moved on. I just wanted to share. Okay.
I love them.
This story is wild.
I love them with all my heart.
I love that they brought up the Goblin Cave. They know that that's near and dear to my heart. If you are unfamiliar with Goblin Cave,
bitch.
It is very explicit. And I will one day write the Goblin Cave episode 0, wherein the hero writes a contract with the goblins to initiate the consensual non-consent of their relationship. That is my Goblin Cave episode 0.
Damn.
Would you let someone
This is crazy. I'm sexually. Not gonna lie. If you look back at this, there's a part in the middle where it was like, because I'm like, maybe, bitch, if you're hot enough. I'm that crazy enough too, where I'm like, yeah, I've been like kind of teasing with blocking this one guy who I've been seeing. But did I do a little bit of spell where I said, you know, I'm so glad that this person is obsessed with me, and did some like sex magic and lit it on fire and stuff? Yes.
Work.
You know, yes. But
the thing
like
is
he said,
I can get down with some of this.
If we click. He's saying bitch, you think you're worthy enough to click with that? You want to get spit on. Maybe you're not ready for all this. He probably wouldn't have done that to you. You're crazy. But that can be kind of, like I said, I do shit for the plot. But I think it can be fun and kind of silly.
The thing is like, I'm down for some of this stuff. Maybe not in the stomach, but I've been punched in like the chest in like a sexual manner.
They love doing that whenever you're like writing them and they go, and they like,
yeah,
yup.
I can get with that, you know, but like the worry here is that like, even if you don't want all of that, what if he then takes that extra step and starts stalking you anyway? That would be my biggest fear about all of this, is like, if we click on the rest of the stuff and then I decide to go through with it and I'm like, okay, I don't want the stalking. What if he does it anyway? That would be the scariest part for me.
What keeps me from having that fear is he's upfront about it. He said, if we click, I am into the feeling of having which is psychotic, he needs help, but the feeling of having psychological abuse done.
Yes.
So it seems to be a consensual thing where it's like, you like that I'm doing this, I like that.
I would need a contract. I need it in writing.
Yeah, but
I need it in writing.
Bitch, that's for bad bitches. If you can't handle that, step the fuck aside.
I would need it in writing. But the thing is like, so many people that are into like the BDSM community and like into kink communities and things like that, at least if they're doing it correctly, they will be very upfront about it and would be down to like write a contract with you and like really lay out like the points of what it means to go through with all the stuff that they're into.
I love that. She should have passed it my way. I would have been like, yeah, let's try it.
Well, if this writer is in Chicago, this person might be here. Who knows?
That's kind of crazy. And I'm kind of gagged that like reading this back, having not read this before we started, I'm kind of like, I could see me into that.
I could totally get into some of this stuff.
Oof. But if that's not for you, the punching, if you punch me, we are throwing hands.
Yeah.
No, don't you ever hit me. No. You're crazy.
And definitely not without talking about it beforehand.
No. Like, 100% don't fucking not. Punch me. What?
Yeah.
That's kind of a crazy fucking story. And I wish this was my story.
But I love how like they really take us on a journey in this story, because like from the top you're like, oh, they're into it. Halfway through they're like, oh, they might actually go through with it. And then like you are like, we are on this trip with them.
This bitch is a little crazy for saying, I'm hoping that like we can just fuck and then like never talk to each other again, because like you're a little crazy for knowing that he's crazy and still wanting it. So you're also an enabler. And you also need help, and I see you, and I love you, bitch, and hit me up. We should be friends.
We applaud that. Like this is the type of shenanigans that we love here. I really want to know how hot this guy is. Like, I know you blocked him, but like, just send like a torso pic. Like, don't share like the full. I want to
smell him.
We just want to see. I want to see the pits.
I want to smell him. Fuck, my king. Right. And non-Latino people love being called papi. So he's probably white. I would call him papi.
Maybe, probably.
Fuck, that's kind of hot.
I have an old coworker who I still see sometimes, and he's white, and he always calls me papi, and I'm always like, wait, why are you doing that?
Vice versa? Absolutely not. Don't call me puppy.
It's
I'll
very
call you puppy.
odd. It's very odd. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait. But he's like so nice about it that I'm like, oh, fine, I let it slip or whatever.
No, I remember my ex on one of our first dates. He called me Papa, and I was like, I don't know what Latino you fucked that let him call you that. And I told him just like that, and I was like, but you are not allowed to call me that. My mom calls me that, and she's dead. You're not allowed to call me that.
Not doing it.
And he was
not doing
gagged.
it.
Ah, that's hot.
Maybe
Fuck.
you could like, maybe if you want to like unblock him, if you set your guidelines and just let him come to you and see like maybe you can like meet him halfway about it.
Yeah.
It's only if you click, but I still think there's a chance that you could probably hook up. Or if you like really don't want this man in your house or know where you live, like set up a time
Go to
to
his
cruise
house.
or go to his place. I was just gonna say like find a time to like cruise somewhere, go to like the bird sanctuary, go to your gym or something. I don't know.
Do people set up cruises?
Sometimes I've
never
heard people
set
set
up a
up.
cruise.
So tell me, are you a cruising girl?
Oh my god, am I a cruising girl? I love cruising with all my heart. Lord,
Let's talk about
like
it.
help me. I love cruising so much. I've never set it up though. I thought that's the whole point of it. It's just like whoever's there in the moment.
Well, yes, that is like the biggest part of it, but there is the option to set up that environment with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like as I would say like authentic as like the cruising that you're talking about, but it definitely is because some people do get that feeling off about like being in
Especially people who like
public.
public, yeah.
Yeah, so you can definitely set that up. I don't even know if you would then call it cruising, but you're definitely public. Like if you want to just plan public play with him, that way he really can't like he can't hurt you that much if you're in
Can't
public.
beat the shit out of you in public, girl.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. He can't like beat the mess out of you in the sauna.
Yeah, try that first. Be like, meet me at the gym, and then we'll see what's up. But be careful, bitch, and make sure you know what he's about and don't give any fucking room for doubt. If you're not into getting punched in the gut and being stalked, don't even entertain it.
Yeah, but they're into other stuff. They said that he can pee on them. He could choke them out while they're getting throat fucks.
That's vanilla.
Like there are options. I think here's what you do: you unblock him. You lay down your rules and let him meet you. And if he's not into it, then boom, you guys just don't do anything.
What did pussy ass bitch block him?
No, I don't know. I could see like in the moment
just
being
say
like,
no, I'm not into it, and then
yes, but I could see in the moment being like, oh my god, I have to block this person, and then like just doing it like as a reaction. This comment I need to read. It says cruising 101, schedule someone you want to hook up with. Oh, excuse me. Cruising 101, schedule someone you want to hook up with just in case there aren't interesting people there.
Oh, that's really good. I always just take my L's if there's nobody there that I'm into. But I never thought of that.
How does cruising usually go for you?
So cruising for me is very my most recent one was on the train. We met at the Addison Red Line stop, and he was like kind of flirting with me, and he was just like, I was kind of paying it dust, and he's like, I'm flirting with you, just so you know. And I was like, oh.
Being that forward, that's hot.
Oh, bitch, I'm forward. So I was like, oh, okay, what's up? So we sat in the same car together, my leg on him, his arm around me, and then started making out, pulled his dick out. I didn't suck it because I'm not a monster. We're on the red line. But
I've seen worse on the red line.
Yeah, we definitely have seen worse. But I truly like the spontaneity. I love the flirty. I love the build up, the eyes up and down. I love the my first cruising experience was at FFC over in Lakeview because I used to live by there. And this guy was fully erect and had his shadow where you can see it in the showers because they're right next to each other. And then tapped his foot under, and I tapped back, and he just put it under, and then stuff. So I really am into the cruising vibe. I really love it. But
FFC stands for fun for cruising.
Okay, yeah, Miss Chicago Luke or whatever his fucking name is always there, and I'm like, girl, you're wildin'. But yeah, cruising is very it has to be subtle because there's guys who are very intense with cruising. They'll be from the showers to the steam room back and forth.
Oh my god!
And when I'm at the gym, it's so wild. Bad.
I'm always like, girl, it's doing the most.
You're desperate. You're ugly. Get out.
I just find it so interesting because the only time I cruised was a little bit in college, and I haven't done it ever since then. But I just love hearing people's stories about it.
I love it.
In college, I had like this whole little video project where I talked to specifically what the queer elders that we had. You know, I would talk to like older queer people and like get their stories about cruising. Just
Yeah, that's all they had.
It's great. Like, and hearing their stories about it is so like, okay, so in Philadelphia, because this was when I was living in Philly. In Philly, there is a park. They called it the Carousel. And so the way that people would cruise there, it's like, so there's a park and then there's a one-way street all around the park. So
does it just like loop around, and that's why it's called the Carousel? It loops around.
It's called the Carousel. So people in their cars would go around.
I love that.
And then if you wanted it, you know, you would go up to their car, blah, 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 blah. They would see you, you would see them, and that's how it would go. So a lot of people would go to the Carousel, or they would go to the train tracks. It's a park now, but it's where the freight trains were. And it's called, oh my God. What's her name?
Lupita Nyong'o.
No. Shaka Khan. What's her name? The Wizard of Oz lady. What's her name?
Oh, Audrey Hepburn.
That is not her.
Is it her?
That is not her.
Take my gay card. No, not Audrey Hepburn. Who's Liza Minnelli's mom?
Not Dorothy. Yeah, Liza Minnelli's mom. Judy Garland. Judy Garland. Thank you, Neo. Judy Garland Park in Philadelphia is what it was called, or that's what the gays would call it. It was where the freight trains were, and that was like a really big cruising spot in the trees amongst the freight train.
Hell yeah. I love that. Best dick of your life, I bet, was in those fucking
the way that these men were telling it, I was, oh my God, I would be in those interviews face red.
Yes, I used to live in Vegas, and over in Vegas, like especially from California to Vegas, that whole little strip through the like Mojave Desert, it's a lot of like trucks. So I was what was called a lot lizard, which is when you go from like truck to truck to truck and hook up with a bunch of guys. And bitch, I was lot lizarding my life down because in the back of the trucks, they have the beds and shit.
Word.
So bitch, at the back of like a Love gas station, I was getting all the love, baby.
This is not the first time I've heard this. I have heard the word lot lizard before. You just reminded me of it. But apparently the truckers, they be fucking
They love it. They love the dolls.
Work. That being said, I should bring that project back. I should talk to some older gay people in
That
Chicago.
sounds really cool. I would love to visit that if you have any links to anything still out.
Oh, I don't even know where it is. It's probably on a hard drive somewhere. If I find
especially
it,
in Philly. Oh, good dick is in Philly.
Yeah, this was like years ago. I had done this maybe 2017. I probably lost all the shit for it. But if you want to do it in Chicago, we could talk to the girls. I'm sure people have tons of stories.
I guess you can set up cruising now.
I guess, right? I guess
you learn that.
Up. Yeah.
This next one is my turn, and it's called Eager to Try. They say, I want to try a glory hole. I've never sucked dick through one, and I want to try it, but I'm not really a cruising kind of guy.
Oh my God, more cruising.
Right. Speaking of cruising, and I would feel awkward if I ran into someone I knew at Steamworks or something like that. So I'm too shy to go to bathhouses or anything, and my apartment doesn't have a good setup for setting up a homemade glory hole, like with a sheet or something. I don't have a buzzer to let people in, so I'd have to walk downstairs and open the door for them, and that kind of defeats the purpose, right? They asked, do you have an idea for how I can check this off my sex bucket list without having to risk running into people I know at a bathhouse or video shop?
Ooh.
There's always the option to put a doorstop to keep those doors open.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right, go ahead.
But my thing is, I get not wanting to run into people at a bathhouse or a video shop, but I think at that point, you're both under the social contract if you're both being in these places and
right. It's you can't make fun of me for shopping at Goodwill if you're here too shopping too, bitch, and you see me. What?
Yeah. So I think if you do encounter someone at the video shop, that's the social contract is you're both there and you would keep that knowledge there and not run and tell it on the mountain, right?
Also, even if they did tell it on the mountain, no one gives a fuck. You guys are both there. You're both shopping at the Goodwill. No one cares you guys are both at the Goodwill.
Yeah.
Sucking dick in a glory hole is fun.
Real quick, I want to read this comment. There was, and it may still exist, a dating website for lot lizards called Trucker Suckers.
No!
Shout out to the Trucker Suckers. Shout out to the Trucker Suckers.
This was in the days where Craigslist. Craigslist was still alive, so it was M seeking M or M seeking F or M seeking T. Oh, bitch, get into the M seeking T. So trucker suckers, I am gagged. I've never heard of that.
I love that. That's wild. That being said, I think your best bet if you don't, because we're not like gonna force you to go to a bathhouse or the video shop. Like I think your best bet would be to like set up a door stopper or like wear a mask or something and like, you know, or even if you have to tell them like I'm gonna let you in, but I'm gonna be in a mask. Don't look at me. Like I'm gonna go upstairs. I'll let you know. Here's where it is. Now that you're inside, come up at your leisure, right?
Yeah, I don't think that defeats the purpose of it. Like, I think, again, like you said, with the mask, that's a great idea. And it's small things like this, and I'm like, bitch, you didn't think of this? Like, put a door stopper.
Get you a pup mask.
Get you a pup mask. And
just
like,
put a full sheet over yourself like a ghost.
Yeah, be like, woo, just don't let it be white.
Be like, the ghost is gonna let you in, and then you're gonna go to the 3rd floor, and it's gonna be the 4th door on your left. You know,
or get somebody that likes to watch people, like that's voyeuristic. Have them bring them in, and then you like an escort to hell.
Yes. Oh my god. Wait, that's actually. I think that's probably hot. That. Yes, because that's hot. If you're into that or up for it, get a friend who can like guide them up and then watch.
Also, what do you mean you're shy, bitch? You cannot go to a glory hole and be shy. Like those two things cannot coexist.
I think you could be shy because no one's seeing your face.
But it's like it's in the sense that like you're doing it. Like you're not if you say that if you're at a glory hole, like a little part of me doesn't think you're shy. Like you may say you're shy. Bitch, you go to glory holes and bathhouses.
Like,
right, like you're playing coy. Like don't
like sitting at the edge of the bed with the hookup, like, oh no, like I don't
do this often.
Yeah,
like it's like you do
2 seconds later.
This guy over. Right. It's like, stop, who are you kidding? Like I like my idea. Set up a door stopper.
Yeah, dude. I honestly like your idea of getting a friend.
That's hot. That one is hot.
I think that's hot. Get a friend. Yeah. Get Issa. Let Issa be the friend.
Yeah, I'll do it, and I won't judge you. I promise you.
Yeah. Like what do they call them? Ushers at like a theater.
Yeah.
Like right here to the glory hole, sir. Here to the glory hole.
Yeah, I'll make sure that his dick don't stink when he comes to you because you deserve better.
Yes.
I need an inspection before you go in. No cheese.
Work. But yeah, I think if you're shy and you want to do a glory hole, it kind of is like the perfect thing.
Yeah.
No one has to see you.
Right? No one has to see you giving sloppy toppy, girl.
Because, like, here's the thing. Would you run into someone at the video shop if no one's seeing your face?
Right. Like, you don't know what their dick looks like. How could be anybody?
Yeah.
I do commend them, though, for knowing that they do want to do this. It's a matter of just taking that step of...
It's a leap of faith.
Yep. And just doing it.
Yeah. It's definitely, like... especially because this is something you want to try. You have to... It's going to be a little uncomfortable. It's about stepping in that uncomfort and, like, enjoying that. Like, that excitement, that nervousness is also excitement.
That first time I went to Steamworks was with my drag sister. Word. Well, she was my sister at the time, but me and Luna La Catrina, we went together, and we did not see each other naked, and we did not hook up. We
went together.
We went together. We got a locker. We got a room, and we said we're gonna meet together here at 7 a.m. and we're just gonna go do our own thing. Just keep an eye on the clock, and have fun.
You're not the first person who I've heard do this. I have a couple other friends who have like, my first time was with someone else. We just showed up. We like, obviously we didn't do anything together. We just went like as support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an option too.
Do that. I'll go with you. You just have to pay our way.
Yeah. Or if you got like expendable income and you want to just like take a trip, take yourself on a little solo trip and go to a bathhouse in another city.
That's true. Go somewhere else. What? That's a great advice.
Go somewhere where you have zero risk of running into someone you know.
Right. I don't have that problem anymore because I'm not from here. So I don't run into people I know.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's great advice.
I don't know. Let me know if you've experienced this. So since not being from here, do you find that sometimes you see people who look like people from home?
That happened literally today. I walked by somebody at the gym that looked like somebody I went to high school with, and I was like, what the fuck? I almost hit them up like, I thought I saw you today.
It happens all the time to me. I see people that look like people I know on the East Coast, and I'm like, oh my God.
That just feeds into my theory that everybody's like an NPC.
Honestly, yeah.
That
Sometimes it
nobody's
does feel
real.
that way. Like my brain is recycling these people and like just put it like, here's this template, boom, NPC.
Template boots.
Yeah, template down. Very Truman Show. This comment says Truman Show syndrome. Oh my god, I might have it.
Oh,
my god.
but yeah, I'm glad that I don't have that problem where I run into people that I've had like previous high school era me like rapport with.
Yeah. Okay, we are at an hour and 20. Do you want to do this last question or should we skip it and get to the second segment? It's pretty short.
Go ahead, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. This is from Doll from the Block. It's a confession, and they say, okay. So, a few years ago, I dated a guy who was in the closet and still is till this day. Well, he recently got married to some cis woman. Cowboy emoji. Anyway, he has a brother who looks just like him. And his brother, we'll call him John, started hitting on me recently from out of nowhere. And my goof ass asked him, don't you have an older brother who looks just like you? We'll call him Alex, aka my ex. John says, yes, I do. How do you know him? I ignore the question and said something else. Well, my ex and I dated before I transitioned, and so his brother only knows me as a doll. From what I know, it's against their religion to associate with any of this.
The cowboy emoji's taking me out.
Cowboy emoji. There are cowboy emojis all over this question.
Right.
And I may have outed one by accident, but I didn't say it exactly. So Alex is married now, and well, I ended up blocking him because I'm not causing no more problems. P.S.
Oof.
I looked up my ex, and he does not share one single thing about his wife, and his wife shares all their pictures all over Facebook. Sad AF. Anyway, bye, Jakey. Heart
Oh,
emoji.
that's crazy.
Doll from the Block. Fucking
I
the
hope that you
brothers.
fucked his brother. I am this is part of my toxic things I do on purpose video where I fucked my ex's brother and I did it because he cheated on me. And bitch, in the middle of hooking up, I told his brother, like I took his dick out of my mouth. I was like, "You're bigger," and I picked him up from their fucking house. So I'm petty, and I commend you for fucking hooking up with his brother because as you motherfucking should.
Reclaiming my time.
Okay,
Reclaiming my time. Very that.
that's crazy. I hope you fucked his brother, but you already fucked the original brother to begin with, so you know what that dick's like.
Yeah. And the other one's married now. Just fuck the other brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or spill everything.
Oh.
Spill everything, send it to her, and then block her immediately. Like delete.
I'm
everything.
coming to you as the woman.
I'm coming to you as the woman from woman to woman. Your man is like really into the dolls, and like he's not who he says he is. And I need you to just keep your like walls up with him because you never know who you're laying in bed with.
Well, we don't even know. We don't even know if he's into the dolls because they said that what's his name? Pre-transition. The brother that they're currently talking to is into the dolls.
Oh, I see.
So one of them got the pre-transition, and then the current one is into the dolls.
Why didn't you stay with him? You ain't fucked the new body. You fucked Nicole body.
Yeah. Honestly.
Damn. That would have been so cunty if she stayed with this brother and then shows up to the family event like, hi. Like, what's up?
I want to know what they mean by they may have outed one by accident. I want to know more about that story. Give us an update. Send us that story.
That she told him how they kind of know each other.
Oh.
Which isn't allowed for them to be like gay.
Gotcha. Yeah, because it's against their religion to associate with any of this.
Yeah.
Which so it's giving, sounds like it could be most religions, to be fair.
Yeah. I want pictures, and that's kind of embarrassing that Alex doesn't share anything, but his wife shares everything. He misses that pussy.
He might.
That pussy now. Transition.
Go fuck the current brother and come back to us. Send us an update.
Blocked him.
No, whoa. Oh, I thought they meant that they blocked Alex.
I blocked my ex. Oh.
Wait,
what? I'm also drunk.
Alex is married now, and well, I ended up blocking him because I'm not causing any more problems. Wait, so they're kind of vague. We don't know if they blocked Alex or John.
Who did you block? If you blocked Alex, continue with John. Continue with John and look cunty and show up to that family barbecue and be like, hi.
That's the thing.
Hi. And then let them battle it out. That's their problem. Oh my God, you have to do it. Please, I'm begging you. If you do anything in this life, please do that.
Just walk up to him and the wife and be like, Don't we know each other? Don't we know each other?
You're like, oh my god, you look so familiar. Oh my god, you're Alex. That's like crazy. Do you remember me?
Yeah. Yeah, I looked a little different back then. You know, like
Oh, that's
I
cunty. You have an opportunity in your lap to be cunt.
yeah, this is your moment. Take it. This is your moment.
This is your moment.
Take
Have
it.
it.
Have
Bitch,
it.
what?
Drama. This is
That's
why we're here.
fierce.
I want to update. I want to update. Even if you don't do anything currently, which you totally should, fuck the other brother. Let us know about the whole outing accident. I'm curious about that.
And fuck the other brother and tell us which one was better.
Ooh, very that. Yes. Yes. Let us know that. Ooh. That was a good. That was like. I'm glad we did that one. That was a good one to end on.
That one was great.
Okay, so now customarily this is our time to take a very quick break. I'm gonna end the stream. And we will do our second segment, Advice to the Stars, where we give advice to public figures, celebrities, politicians, talk about current events, and give advice to people who didn't ask for it, but damn well need it. Okay.
Period.
So those of you watching the Twitch stream, you can catch the second segment on the podcasting apps when it's out this weekend. Same for those of you watching YouTube. So for now, Issa, do you want to let the people know where they can find you, and do you want to promote anything coming up for yourself?
Sure. Initially I wasn't gonna promote anything because I don't really care about anything, but you guys can follow me on social media at everywhere at Issa the Queen, QWEEN. I'm literally everywhere with that at. I got lucky and snagged her up. If you're in Chicago, I'm gonna be performing on Sunday at Fantasy, part of the House of Diamonds cast, where we perform almost every Sunday except the first or last one, I believe. I think it's the first one. But you can catch me on Sunday. I'm gonna be debuting this gorgeous new sickening dress that I commissioned for my friend. So come out. It's a really good time. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. We're gonna have such a cute time in the second episode.
I know. I wrote notes
in the second segment. So yeah, everyone else, we will catch y'all on the flip side. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.